It's Breakfast Daily on City TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, Mother's Day is on Sunday. A lot of us are going to be thinking of how to surprise our mothers. Families are going to plan things. Maybe the dad will decide to plan a surprise for the kids. And sometimes the group that we tend to forget are the single mothers. They're the people who are usually playing both dad and mom. Even on Mother's Day, they still have to hang out with the kids. They can't even take a break to focus on themselves. So we'll be figuring out how to celebrate our single mother friends in a special way by reliving what it means to be a single mother and how to appreciate them more. This Sunday, we'll be talking to Emefa Gadze. She is an executive life coach and the founding director of Single Parents Support Network. Throughout our conversation with her, if you have any questions for her, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550585832. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. If there's a single mother that you would want to celebrate in a special way, send those messages in as well, and we'll do well to read them out and celebrate her together. Good morning, Emefa.
Good morning, Dziffa.
How are you?
I'm well, as I can be in these times. And how are you?
I'm good. We have to make it through.
Yes, we will make it through.
Yeah, we'll talk about Mother's Day in a bit, but let's talk about life as a single mother. How has your personal experience been, as well as experiences you've heard from your friends and colleagues?
My personal experience has been, first and foremost, choosing to walk in forgiveness. Every day. I mean, it's a conscious, I'm very conscious of that because I understand the detriment of bitterness and how devastating it can be to me personally and my child. And I don't want that. So irrespective of what the circumstances are, I choose to forgive. I might be knocked off momentarily, but after reflections, I let go so that I can be present and be healthy and whole emotionally and everything to be able to create the right environment that my son needs to thrive.
But where do you draw the strength from to forgive? Because we have women who, even while they are carrying the child, the man will bail out. And no one signs up to do it on their own. So after you go through all of this, and let's say maybe at some point the person that wants to be in the child's life, how do you get that strength to say, I forgive you?
Actually, my primary strength 24/7 is from God. I draw a lot of strength from my faith. And I also try as much as possible to lean into personal development resources. I've been through therapy. I'm conscious of what not letting go, as painful as situations might be, from the unreasonable actions and inactions of the other person or other persons. You know, I need to be conscious of what I want. What are my goals? What do I want to end up like? How do I want my child to be? All these things, I factor it into making the decision. But my primary strength is from God. And then therapy and other things, having the beautiful and wonderful tribe that I have. So then I'm not focused on only the negatives. I know that, yeah, we might have some ignorant people out there, but then I have these people who value us, and that's enough. And I am enough.
Okay. How has your personal journey been as a single mom, if you don't mind sharing with us?
For me, everything, you said it right, that parenthood is supposed to be between two parents, and even between two parents, and I want to emphasize two present parents.
Yeah.
Because you can have two parents who even a single parent home is better than.
Yeah.
You know, so two present and involved parents. Even with two present and involved parenting, you need a community.
Yeah.
because you need a village to be able to raise a child. And my personal experience is not reflective of every single parent, because since I started doing this work, I realized that we have a wide spectrum of them. We have some who have abundant support from family and friends, and some people even live with their family and friends. So there are advantages to that as well, but that has not been my experience. I've had to it's just been me and my son on a day-to-day basis most times, or most of the time, and that can be very taxing sometimes. I want to use the right words. That can be very taxing sometimes, because you are trying to take care of yourself as a person, and then you are trying to mother, and you are trying to mother without baggage. And for me, I had to work on myself and it's an ongoing process. Work on a lot of the things so that I don't unleash anger and pain on an innocent child who didn't send me. You understand me? So for me, that was, and another thing is financially, most of the time when a relationship goes south, there is so much pain and misunderstanding and whatnot that sometimes the other person just decides to do what they want. And you do your best to fight, but at some point you just choose where to put your energy. So after a while, I chose not to fight anymore and concentrate, garner my energy to do other things that will bring us more profit and build a legacy, other than trying to convince somebody. I don't think more if somebody has a conscience, you should, no matter how much pain and anger you hold inside of you, when you have a whole human being out there, nobody should prompt you to look after that human being. So I've had to deal with that, and the inconsistencies and the inadequacies that surrounds that, and not dealing with that alone, dealing with people who actually think it's okay, so it's more like societal issues. Another thing I've had to deal with is being the sole person emotionally, or I talked about financially. I remember that at times I come back from work when I was on an 8-to-5 job. I come back from work and I've had a hard day and I'm tired. And I don't want to, Dziffa, you're going to get me to cry. I don't want to. And I just want to go to bed and lay down. But then your child comes back from school and has had a rough day too. So you have to hold your pain in and try to comfort your child. I remember there was one time that I had a very gruesome week. It wasn't necessarily a bad week, but it was a very week at work. I was completely wiped out. And on Friday, I had come back from work late, and my son said, "Mommy, I want to tell you something." And I said, I just mustered the last strength, and I said, "Can we talk in the morning? I beg you, I promise, in the morning we will talk." So things like that. And sometimes you feel guilt. That's another thing I had to deal with, because I come from a divorced home as well. My parents divorced at 12. And the pain and everything, I didn't want to land my child in that. But when it was obvious that that is where we were heading, I struggled with accepting that. So I had to learn to forgive myself, and just make the best from the situation, So you struggle with that guilt. And I remember very well, my mom used to say that, oh, I'm sorry, I gave you this kind of father, and I didn't used to understand. I used to look at him like, what is she talking about? But I think I get it.
But she also shouldn't feel guilty for his decisions, right?
Pardon me?
I said
she felt guilty.
Shouldn't feel guilty for fathers choosing to not be in their children's lives.
Yes, it's not as much yes, we shouldn't feel guilty for that. And we should also learn to forgive ourselves, because you see, you make the choice to invite the person into your life or accept the invitation of the person into your life. Mm-hmm. But what I have learned is that I made the decision based on my knowledge at the time. Mm. And as Maya beautifully put it, when you know better,
you do better.
So the information available to me at the time was what I used to make the decision I made. And to be fair, he was very convincing.
Yeah.
And he did love me. Everybody that knew us at the time knew. But life happens. Things went haywire. And that is why I always maintain love alone is not enough to carry a relationship to a beautiful end. Love alone is not enough. You need to add, there are other things that are critical to making that love sustainable.
Okay.
So that in a summary is my
experience.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. So as we are celebrating Mother's Day, a lot of us have friends who are single mothers. A lot of us are single mothers ourselves. Some of us are casualties of divorced homes. How do we celebrate the single mothers that we know, knowing that they've had to, put their own stress aside, put their baggage aside, focus on their kids, be the father for the kid, love the kid, not even transfer whatever anger they feel for the father onto the kid. I mean, being a single mother is 24/7 sacrificing yourself for your child. How do we celebrate the single mothers that we know?
I think one very big thing that I'm hoping our society, which is reflective of many societies too, is drop the stigma. Because you see, it's like when you attack a single mother, whether intentionally or unintentionally, when you have prejudice and you unleash that on the child or on the parent, what you do is that the escapes that might be healing in the womb, you pick it again. So you never stop picking it. I've just decided not to add the ignorance of people, the judgments of people, about your single parents. People make all kinds of judgment. I remember I came to City FM one time last year, and I think it was around single parenting, and I told. By the time I was coming home, because I gave my number online, a pastor called me and was talking to me about submission and, the judgment.
Yeah.
Single parent, you don't know somebody's story. You don't know whether the person even left the relationship or marriage to save themselves from being killed. You don't know. So when people have done everything possible to save themselves, for most single parents, I know that is their story. And then they come out, and then their family and society, the church and other people judge them. It makes you sink into depression. We've made it look as if, especially for single moms, as if when you don't have a man in your life, then you are not a human being. Your humanness is validated by having a man in your life.
How do we choose to, how do we celebrate single mothers for choosing to stay rather than punishing them for choosing to stay? Because that's the harder option. Actually staying in the life of your child. Because I think society also we forgets sometimes that there are mothers who neglect their children because of this same shame associated with being a single mother.
Thank you for mentioning that. So there are some single mothers who even go to the extent of, especially when they want to remarry, they lie to their suitors. Because we've made it almost official in our society that don't marry a single mother. So the very close-minded men follow that route, but the very open-minded ones are just looking for a great human being to live their life with. So they don't mind. So there are some single mothers who actually hide their children. They say, I don't have a child. So a few years into the marriage, then boom, the truth comes out and the man feels betrayed. Why? Because society has made it so. So we should keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Somebody's business is their business. Keep an open. The person is a human being choosing to stay, pouring all their resources, financial, emotional, everything into the children. Those children, what do they become? Tomorrow's leaders. We have so many great people in our society who were raised by single moms. And we are all benefiting from their great humanness and just the great human beings and people that they are. They are affecting our society at all levels. So forget about that. Celebrate the mother. If you can't say any kind word, keep quiet. Or just say, well done. I see you. I'm praying for you. If you truly are, if you can do something a step further, mentoring. I always talk about mentorship, especially with the male children. If you are a man out there, you don't need to be perfect. That's the problem I encounter when I try to encourage many men. They feel like they are not qualified enough. No, once you've made your mistake, you've learned your lessons, you are qualified.
Yeah.
And you can help another young man not to make the same mistakes you made.
Okay, Emefa, so how do we celebrate single mothers in a special way this Mother's Day in 60 seconds?
This Mother's Day, if you have a single mother in your family or in your circle of friends, gift cards are amazing. You can surprise them with gift cards. You can surprise them with, especially in these times that we have, foodstuffs and hygiene items, very critical. Some single mothers have 3-4 children in their homes. I met a single mom the last time who has 7 children. At various ages, they eat. So dropping something, and I would like to add, let's give with dignity. The way you even hustle and show up, cards are welcome. Okay. It speaks a lot. It's not like I'm just dropping this to some poor person. No, let's treat them. How would you like to be celebrated as a human being? You understand me? Agree. That is the same kind of celebration. And also for those who are around their children, encourage the children to do crafts and art. Right now, the schools are not in session. Some of the schools, if they are in session, the teachers encourage the children to do like an artwork. It's just an encouragement to the parents, for the mother. So those of people who are quarantining alone, quarantine with single mothers, that's something they can do. Plan a small surprise. You see, it's not the bigness or the smallness of the gift. It's the intention behind it and how you present it.
Perfect. I think that's a great way to end it. Thank you so much for being with us, Emefa Gadze, and a happy Mother's Day to you in advance. And thank you so much for the great work that you do. We've received a lot of messages from you guys. I will just read a few. Adra Mansa says, stigma will remain, but your happiness is very important. Lamle says, simple. If you can't say a kind word, hush. And another message here, we are examples to the children we raise. The child sees everything. Keep those messages coming with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585-832. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. And this Mother's Day, try to celebrate a single mother in a special way without shaming her or making her feel bad, to actually choose to be in the life of her child, because that child could be the future leader that this country will need to get to where it needs to be.
We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. This is Breakfast Daily on City TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.